so I'm here with Sebastian Wenzel, and what we've got here is the Fanatic Viper. It's kind of like our beginner board in the range, if you like. It's a lot more than that though. It's an extremely versatile board, and Sebastian's going to tell me a little bit more about it.
Yes, this board has a pretty good story to it. We've been having it in the range for quite some time. The reason for it is we didn't really come up with anything better for that segment. When we started developing the Viper, the trend was really for beginner boards to be really short, super wide. But that's not really working so well, because on a short whiteboard, or maybe even without a dagger board, it's not really easy to learn. Yeah, you can stand on it because it's wide, but you can't really go anywhere. The board goes left and right, doesn't go in a straight line.
More time going sideways, yeah.
Sideways, there's not really a glide to it. So we were actually talking to a lot of windsurf centers, windsurf schools, what boards they were teaching on, and it was funny. All of them were using really, really old shapes. So we got to be coming up with something that's better than that. So we took features from these older shapes, and if you look at the Viper range, we have very long parallel outlines. The board's obviously not as long as the old school shapes. They were like until here and had really pointy noses.
Yeah.
So what we basically did is we cut all of that off, but we kept that nice long parallel section that you need for a glide. We got something pretty interesting going on here on the bottom shape. If you look at the nose here, we have a very exaggerated V. It's pretty deep in combination with this double concave. The idea behind this is that when the board's not planing, and that's what beginners usually are, they're not planing with the board still tracks nicely and has a nice glide. Even though being a shorter board, you'll still be able to sort of glide in non-planing conditions. Max, something unusual for a windsurf board nowadays is this black stuff here on the bottom. What is this and why is that so important?
Okay, yeah, well this is all about having the, so you can have the dagger board out, okay, which is a crucial part of learning, especially in those initial steps. Okay, it's what's going to create a center point for people to lean the sail over so they can turn upwind and downwind easily. I mean, we all know at first, when you learn, you end up downwind almost all the time. So this is going to help us, yeah, I guess along with that nose shape up the front, this is going to help us track, keep a straight line and get that skill of heading upwind. Okay, and then, I mean, the black stuff, like you said, is really important because it just completely seals the board for when you progress and you're doing a lot more sailing with the dagger board down.
You were quite impressed by the performance of these.
Really impressed. I mean, especially compared to any other beginner board that I've used. So yeah, it's an extremely versatile board. So with the dagger board up and your foot straps further out, it can take you a long way. It's not just those initial steps, and it's extremely nice to sail on just for straight line blasting or carving. All of that kind of stuff is great on this.
Yeah, coming back to the foot strap options, we have options that are actually even designed for non-planing usage, I guess.
Exactly,
you can have your first foot strap experience, but then also we have options here in the back that are kind of already performance positions that you can go on full on planing.
Also great as like a family board because you can have it for the kids or teenagers using it and beginners with the straps forward. Okay, then whoever wants can just move the straps out and then still have a great time blasting around.
And you can still like go full on planing and
full on plane, jibes amazingly as well. It's a great all-rounder really. But this is this nice soft deck that we've got on the board, which is super forgiving. Obviously at first you're going to be spending a lot of time clambering all over it with your knees, so this just makes your life a lot nicer.
That EVA has a texture to it, and there's no anti-slip sprayed over. The texture is actually molded into the EVA and it's grippy. So it's nice and soft, but at the same time grippy, so you won't slip off. It's pretty cool. And we offer the Viper in the version with the full-on graphics, as well as a school version that's a plain white. Pretty good package for center schools, like Max said. They're using it, they're loving it. Right on.